It starts off slow and quiet, the kind of calm that makes you wonder if anything is even going to happen, with a little joking, some laughs, and that familiar feeling that maybe something might slip in if we're lucky, but nothing is guaranteed. We're glassing, trying to pick shapes out of shadows, debating whether what we're seeing is even real, because coyotes can look white as snow in that early light, and then suddenly there's movement. One comes in cautious, another hangs back, and everything starts to line up fast. He's coming hard now, no hesitation, straight commitment, and we're whispering, calling out positions, trying to time it just right. The plan was to let them come a little closer, to stack them if possible, but they start drifting the wrong direction, and in that split-second decision, it's shoot now or lose them. The shots break clean, and just like that they're locked up, anchored right where they stood, a perfect double, the kind you hope for but don't always get. At first it doesn't even register how close together they were until you really look, realizing they were only 15 or 20 yards apart, which makes it even sweeter. Those heavier 62-grain bullets did exactly what they were supposed to do, dropping them clean without tearing them up, and it was just solid, textbook predator hunting. As we start scanning again, taking it all in, you notice how alive everything else is around us. Elk stacked all the way up the river, deer watching something off to the west, clearly not focused on us, which tells you there's still more movement out there. It's cold, the kind of cold that bites a little harder in the morning, but adrenaline keeps you warm as we grab the call, clear the rifle, and head down to check them out. When you get your hands on them, you realize just how big they are, both solid mature males, heavy, thick, clearly not pups, and one of them absolutely loaded with corn from feeding in nearby fields, which explains a lot about where he came from and why he was so healthy. They looked incredible in the sun coming in, that white fur glowing when they were facing us, and even up close there's no denying how prime they are. We take a minute to break the set down because a lot of guys ask how this actually works in real situations, and this spot is a perfect example. It's a little bowl we've hunted for years, a place we usually hit a couple times a season, and it almost always produces doubles or triples if you play it right. We came in before sunrise, set up on the west side of the hill so we'd stay in the shadow as the sun came up. And that shadow line ended up being everything because both coyotes were killed right on the edge of it. Staying patient, not getting aggressive, and letting the setup work was the difference, because if we'd pushed too hard or tried to move around, they would have seen us and vanished. We were also running a new bullet this year, stepping up from the traditional 50-grain VMAX to a heavier, higher BC 62-grain ELD-style bullet, and once again it proved why we've been so confident in it. Despite being big coyotes, there was minimal fur damage, no blowouts, clean entry, no exits on some shots, which is exactly what you want. Shot placement did the rest, with both of them hit hard, one right in the neck, one in the chest, and both going down fast. As we talk it through, it's clear how many variables were in play that morning. Elk moving, deer everywhere, multiple coyotes scattered in different directions instead of coming in as a single pack like you'd expect. Instead of one group, there was one to the north, one to the west, another drifting around, each doing their own thing, which forced us to adapt on the fly. One coyote came in straight north, hugging the terrain, staying just visible enough to track through the weeds, while another zigged and zagged farther out, disappearing and reappearing like they love to do. There was likely another smaller one out west that never fully committed, probably pushed off by these two dominant males, which explains why one earlier coyote wanted nothing to do with the call. Timing, wind, light, terrain, bullet choice, and patience all came together on this set, and that's what made it work. It's a couple days before Christmas, freezing cold, running on very little sleep after late nights and early reloads, but moments like this are exactly why you do it. Two big mature males down, a clean double, great footage, and a textbook example of how predator hunting is never just about pulling the trigger, it's about reading the situation, letting animals make mistakes, and capitalizing when everything finally lines up. In the end, it's time to drag them out, grab a few photos, feed the calves, and head on to the next thing, already replaying the stand in your head and knowing that this is one of those hunts you'll be talking about for a long time.